After over a year, Friend or Foe is back. Don't ask why it took so long, because I don't really have an answer. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since I've said this, but welcome back to Friend or Foe. At this point, you're probably wondering, why am I in a random hole in the ground? And I'll tell you why, guys, as I dig a staircase out, because I kind of need to escape. But basically, the last time we recorded, which, yes, was a very, very long time ago, I was running along and I was tracking Clownpierce using a compass. Now, this never actually got released as footage, and I can't for the life of me find the footage. I didn't upload it at the time because I wanted to add more to the video, but I basically tracked Clownpierce to around this spot, and he logged off. So I then did some investigating and worked out that he had a tunnel. He'd been digging a tunnel in this direction all the way along here. So he's digging a tunnel, and then the tunnel stops right here. I believe I moved that. So he was literally in crawl mode in this spot and logged out. So I know where he's logged out, and guess what? He didn't turn up to the recording session. That's twice that he's not turned up. So I'm going to punish him. I'm going to punish him not by building a trap that's going to kill him, but instead I'm going to punish him by building an inescapable one that he'll try to get away from and he can't. So it's going to slow him down so much. He's not going to be able to do anything, and that is going to give me all of the power. I'll be holding all of the cards. The original plan was for me to just wait for him to log back on and mace him, but it's been so long that I don't know when he's next coming. So yeah, this is definitely a better idea, I think. Also, guys, we've partnered with Blockheads to release a plushie pack with all 4 members inside. They're very cute, they look really cool, and there's only 500 of them, so they're very limited edition, available on blockheads.store. And so this is the room completely mined out. That is the logout spot. That is where he is going to be trapped, in that spot. I really hope this works. I now... Whoa! I hope I can remember where his logout spot is. Where the heck did that creeper come from? As I was saying, that is his logout spot. What a mess that made of the floor. Honestly, I thought I was just going to die there. And as you can see, the current life counts are I'm on 6, Minnie is on 1, Quiff is on 3, and Clown, who, yeah, as I say, he didn't show up, he's on 8. And he is definitely going to be punished for this. We're going to need quite a lot of resources to build this trap. And as I say, it's not going to kill him, but it is going to make sure that he'll never escape. You know how I know that? Because I contacted Canadian to come up with the design. And we all know that he is very, very good at making things that are inescapable. It's been so long that I can't even remember what I do and don't have on, on this server. Tell you what I do want to make use of, Ender Pearl. Oh my goodness, it's burning. That's good to know, because I kind of probably need to go to the nether. Definitely going to need to create more inventory space. Oh yeah, there's the player tracker, by the way, that I was using. I'm pretty sure if I put it in inventory, it'll just expire. Wait, it's not expired? It just expired. I knew it was going to just disappear and expire. I'm going to start off with grabbing a couple of shulker boxes. This is what the materials can go in. And also, bundles are a thing that didn't used to be on Friend or Foe, so that's also something I want to make use of pretty much as soon as I can. I'm going to use some concrete for the build just as blocks, so having plenty of sand and plenty of gravel. Okay, this looks like it might be a Fortune 3. No, it's not. Okay, we're fine. Plenty of gravel as well will be very useful. Also, bones, which aren't super important. I just need a little bit of dye, so bone meal will come in handy. And whilst I'm in a good cave like this, I also need an amethyst geode. Yeah, amethyst is not something you need every day. Okay, did I just land on dripstone? Yeah, it's not something you need every day. We found one. And they're so easy to find if you're in the right cave. So let's head inside. I need some large amethyst buds. That's the exact one. So hopefully these are big enough for that. Okay, there are some that are. Okay, that's good. At least I think so. We need 4 in total. That is an amethyst cluster. Okay, that's apparently too big. Is this one the same? Too big? Okay, we need ones that are not quite fully grown. This could be a little bit more tricky than I first thought then. This one right here. Okay, that's the perfect size, so that's what we're looking for. Okay, that's good to know then. This is mainly for alignment purposes. Is that another one? Yep, that's good. That looks a little bit small. This one looks about right. Yep, that's the third one. We only need 4. So I suppose I'll just have to be patient and wait, because, yeah, that one, that's just too small. And the others are too big. Not to worry. Let's go and make the white dye. We can make a bunch of concrete powder and then turn it into concrete. And in that short amount of time, we look like we've got... Oh, no, never mind. Just got baited. What about this one? Also baited. I'll need ancient debris. That's something that a piston can push, but he won't be able to mine to break out. And a bunch of cobblestone will also come in handy. It's a weird dynamic now, isn't it? I'm teamed with Clown on lifesteal, and I'm against him in friend or foe. There's going to be, really going to be both sides of the coin, isn't there? That's all my droppers sorted. Thankfully, I carry string too, which is fantastic. Because I'm going to need a load of dispensers. I think this one is now a large one. Yes, it is. We've got 4 of them. So I'm now going to grab a stack of cobble and leave this cave because I believe I've got everything that I need. I'll tell you, it's always nighttime when you go caving, isn't it? You always come back from caving and it's the middle of the night. Also, extra string might come in handy down the line, so just in case, might as well get some. Wood is one of the main things that's holding me back now because I need sticks and I also need plenty of hoppers. I know there's a mangrove swamp over there, but I don't know, I find those trees a little bit annoying to mine. Whereas those trees are just a lot better in my opinion. In fact, there's a jungle. Okay, that's perfect. That makes everything 10 times better. Large jungle trees are hands down one of the best places to just get loads and loads of wood really, really fast. I can see some up ahead. I'm also going to make the shulker boxes brown. So bit of cocoa beans as brown dye would be good. Is there any more? Before I use up a precious inventory slot crafting it. I only need 4, so let's go ahead and do that. I can see a village as well. Perfect. Man, ender pearls just make everything so much easier. Well, they do if you actually land them in the right place. As I was saying, ender pearls just make everything so much easier. And to be completely honest, I think just one of these trees is going to get me all the wood I need as well. The remaining items I need, and there's not very many, it's not a super complicated trap to be honest with you, but the remaining items that I need are findable in the nether, so that is where we're headed. I'm going to need a bunch of quartz for observers, and I do need some soul sand. I've just discovered another portal. Who's been here? I think it's from Clown. Could be. How very, very strange. I'm going to head through it. First of all, though, I need to make sure that I'm not just going to fall into the lava. I only need 1 of these. Yeah, someone's definitely been doing something around here. I just don't know what. I mean, it's definitely an ender pearl. I bet this is Clown Pierce's portal, you know. It's like picking up the pieces. Of course, it takes me underground. I don't even know how we got out of here. Why there's random grass blocks. Having said that, I do need to get some redstone, as I have less than I thought I did in stock. So let's keep an ender pearl handy on the hotbar as well, just in case. Dug into a cave, perfect. A cave with a creeper. Nothing new there, is there? They seem to. I don't really want you to blow up because you're gonna. Yeah, you'll blow up my precious redstone. So let's grab that. I just need enough for the observers. There's about 16 of them, so it's not a crazy amount. And then there is a few repeaters as well. Hello, mate. You don't look like you're too well. Oh my goodness, look at the size of this. This is absolutely perfect. I 100% should be set by the time I've finished in here. Provided I don't die to any of these creepers. I have a bit of a habit of that lately, don't I? I also feel like whilst there's just so many diamonds around me, I mean, look, they're literally everywhere. I might as well top up the stocks. I know I've got a decent amount, but they do come in handy because we can't trade with villagers on Friend or Foe. So sometimes crafting armor or tools instead of going to an end city can get them from here. And they kind of come in handy for netherite upgrades as well. Operation get all the observers, check. And with a bit more crafting, we're basically there. I just need a melon and a sticky piston. I completely forgot about the melon earlier. Honestly, I'm such a melon for forgetting. All I have to do is go back into that jungle and grab one. And also, whilst I'm in the vicinity here, I think I'm also going to grab a little bit more iron. Oh my goodness, we got an endermite. Hello, sir. But yeah, we're going to grab a little bit more iron because I will also need 5 hopper minecarts, which I completely forgot to craft. I feel like this has been quite the redstone collection episode, but it'll all be worth it. Trust me, it will without a doubt be worth it. When Clown is going to spend all eternity trapped in one spot with no way out. The only way out is if somebody helps him to escape, assuming everything goes to plan. I do think someone might try and help him to escape as well. So that is a little bit of a concern of mine. That is something I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to probably defend where Clown is, because I reckon Quiff or Mini could try and help them. But on the opposite side, maybe they won't. Maybe they don't try and help him. Maybe they're happy to have him trapped as well. I just feel like he'll offer something in return. It's like Quiff has helped Clown in the past when I've trapped him and stuff, so I need to be ready for that this time. And it is going dark, which is perfect, because the final thing I'm needing is slime. And apparently slime can also spawn in mangrove swamps, not just normal ones. So that is where we're headed. This place really does take some exploring when you're only on foot, doesn't it? Apparently they can only spawn between levels 51 and 69. So I'm a little bit high up here. I'm going to try and go lower down in the swamp, which, yeah, we do seem to be getting there. The issue is, it's just so dense. It's very difficult to spawn. But yeah, of course, every other mob is managing to spawn fine, isn't it? Aha! Okay, you may only be tiny. Hey, that's all I needed, guys. All I needed was one tiny little slime. to turn one of these pistons into a sticky one. Perfect. Now we definitely have everything we need. This is no swamp village I've ever seen before. Is this meant to be in a desert? Oh, even the villagers are desert ones, but you'd think they'd be swamp ones. Look at this. Okay, I hear one dying. Don't worry, sir. Okay, I think he died. Never mind. Imagine the final thing you hear is me saying, don't worry, sir, and then you die. What is this, a frog village? See, you're literally in a mangrove swamp, but you're not a swamp villager. Anyway, don't get distracted, SB. You've got a more important task in hand than worrying about some random village. So let's get down to the trap's location and get to work. Of course, there's a spider in it. Bro, you are not part of this, all right? Stop trying to get involved. Oh my goodness, there's literally a trial chambers round the corner. Do you think this is what he was digging towards? A trial chambers? Well, he never made it there. Hey, I could go and loot the trial chambers as well, just to annoy him even more. So I'm going to begin with a system of droppers and hoppers that are going to collect and send armor stands back through the system. And then right here is where the large amethyst buds come into play, because those are going to be used to align these hopper minecarts. Now, I will need a rail to place them down, which I don't think I have any. It's not like rails are something you necessarily carry with you all the time, is it? So we've got 16 of those now, no problem. And the plan is simple. We just go ahead and place them and push them into position. And as you can see, these are just holding them in exactly where they need to be. That should be all of them in the corner. Yep, we just need to do that so that we 100%... In fact, I'm going to have to break this block now. But we do that so that we 100% make sure that all of the armor stands get picked up. If there was a place where the armor stands could leak out, then Clown could escape. We don't want that. And as a final thing, to 100% make sure they don't move, we're going to put this here and just use a piston to push it down. It's a very intricate build. I also need to make sure that I get rid of any junk that might have got picked up by the hoppers and go into these droppers. I think I got the only ones that are a problem. These brown shulkers are going to be full of armor stands. I just want to make sure I only put empty ones in at the moment. I'll put this one in, the final one in, when I've actually used it. These dispensers are going to put more armor stands here when they get broken. There's droppers there. I do just need to get some observers down, which is going to be a little bit tricky because I need an observer facing like that. And realistically, I actually need that on all sides. Finally, I've got a few observers to place that are facing upwards like this. And that is the vast majority of the redstone done. I just need one more hopper minecart to be there, I think. And then I need a cauldron on top. And I need to put water inside so it kind of makes a bubble column. And yeah, it's pushed that upwards. Okay, that's all completely perfect. So the player is going to actually be trapped. Clown is going to be trapped inside of this cauldron. From here, we can start adding some blocks down and also redstone as well. Now, there is going to be a repeater right here, but I'm not going to place it just yet. The reason for that is I need to get the armor stands into here first. So that's not going to be there right now. And there is going to be a pressure plate here too. All right, so that's all almost ready. And there is also going to be ancient debris right here as well. I'm just not going to put that in until the armor stands are sorted as well. So to get the armor stands in, we basically need to fill each of these shulker boxes completely to the top twice with armor stands, which is quite a lot of armor stands, isn't it? So first things first, you need smooth stone for armor stands. In hindsight, maybe it would have been a good idea for me to actually be cooking all of this whilst I was building it, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I feel like I'm going to have to mine a lot of wood anyway, so let's not worry too much about that. And we should probably have multiple furnaces on the go. I should have picked up the other ones that I used earlier, but I kind of thought I wasn't going to need them again. That's poor planning from me. Doesn't matter too much. We've got another 24. Let's get them cooking as well. And when it comes to wood, because it's sticks that I'm ultimately going to need, I have no idea if we're anywhere near the amounts that are going to be required. But you know what? We'll grab what we can. We'll start making the slabs and we'll start making armor stands. So 24. Yeah, it's a great start. Whoa, what are you doing here? Oh, here to ruin my day, I see. Probably sent by Clownface. So straight away what I'm noticing is it's the slabs that are the limiting factor. I have loads of sticks. Obviously, I'll need more. There we go. We've got another 48, which is 3 stacks worth. Now, to do this, we're gonna need... Now, hold your horses here, but we're gonna need 224 stacks. Yeah, that'll fill the entire thing. So, I think I probably need to go out and get some wood. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll be smelting away the slabs. I've also noticed I've found an amethyst geode. Well, that could have got me the little amethyst clusters that I needed a lot easier, couldn't it? This would probably be the worst time for Clown to log on because I'm so close. It's just a case of getting the armor stands. Honestly, it would be so annoying. Part of me doesn't know whether to just do like a temporary run, but you know what? If he's not logged on at this point, he's not coming on, is he? I think that's the general consensus that I would take away from this. If he was going to come on, he'd be on by now, wouldn't he? It's actually daytime for once. That's nice. I know what I said about not wanting to mine in a mangrove swamp, but I think just so that the smelting's happening at the same time, I kind of have to do that. I would make a stasis chamber, but I used my only soul sand in the machine. If I had a spare one, yeah, I could have used that as a chunk loader and the smelting would have happened. I'm going to be honest, guys. I've mined one mangrove tree and it's miserable. I am going to the jungle because I think long term it's going to save me time. If I actually use ender pearls to travel around, it's going to save me even more time. Can I get a bucket of time? I can. Look at that. I found some of the big jungle trees. So let's get to work mining. I've just done some calculations. I think I need around 40 stacks of logs to do this. I don't know if I'm going to fully get all of those just to get the machine running in case Clown logs on. It doesn't need that many, but that's just to make it completely squeaky clean. So I'm thinking maybe right now I'll get 15 to 20 stacks of logs. That's going to be pretty quick to do. I've run out of big trees. I'm just going with oh my goodness, is a trident boy shooting me? Oh, I could get a free trident here. Hold on a second. We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look, mate. And okay, we didn't get anything. Don't know if a trident would be super useful, but hey, good to would have been good to have still. Seriously, are you going to murder a baby sheep? No way was he just doing that. I don't know if I can allow this. Be free, little sheep. Yes, you're now an orphan. I haven't got time to look after you. I've got bigger fish to fry, but yeah, you deal with the big guys, you know. That's it. Yeah, what are you running from? Okay, this is bad. He was going to murder a child, okay? I had to do it, guys. All right, I didn't mean to do it exactly like that, but I had to do it. Tell you what, mining for wood at night is oh, we've got more casualties. Mining for wood at night is a bit of an eventful task, you could say. Let's just focus on getting these logs and getting back to the trap. At this point, I should have enough. I think, have I filled my inventory? Yeah, my inventory's full. I've got space for a few more jungle logs. So let's go ahead and mine up as many of them as I can pick up, I think. Yeah, we're completely full. Let's get back to the machine. Who'd have thought I have to mine up thousands of wood to take down my enemy? Or at the very least to trap him so that he never forgets to set his alarm again and always shows up to the friend or foe session. I'm doing this for you guys, alright? Clown won't make the same mistake again. There's got to be consequences to not turning up to a recording session. Back to a nice familiar place. I really hope that there's only one thing that could go wrong, and that is if he hasn't logged out in the exact spot that I think he's logged out. Like, let's say he dug the tunnel, but then logged out over here. It could be in trouble. If he's anywhere here, it'll still push him back in. So we should be okay, but there's no guarantees that this is 100% going to work. It's very highly likely that it will, but yeah. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be very, very sad, put it that way. So with that, every shulker has about 4 or 5 stacks in it, and I've still got plenty of materials to add more. And at this point, I'm pretty sure there's enough in the system. As you can see, there's like that many stacks plus some in the hoppers. So there's enough in the system just to get it started at least. And right here, I'm going to need to place 140 armor stands. That's the perfect amount so that when Clown logs in, he won't be able to break any blocks. He'll start breaking armor stands and the pressure plate will still get activated and loads more armor stands will be dispensed in. There is also an extra thing I could do with that in here just as an added precaution. And it's basically a calibrated skulk sensor system that will be right here. So if an armor stand ever... Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to explain something. But yeah, if an armor stand gets broken in here, the calibrated skulk sensor will get activated and it'll just put more into the system as well to make sure that no escape is possible. But before I do that, I've got all my 140 armor stands that I'm simply going to place like this. Now, because I haven't finished the redstone, these pistons will activate and nothing else will. So all 140 of these are going in. This was the easiest way I could think to do it. Use the trusty string and they just fall straight through as you place them. And the reason this is extending is because the iron trapdoor is detecting more and more of them as they get placed. There we go. I'm going to try pick up the string without falling into the machine. That would be the worst thing that could happen if I fell into the machine, wouldn't it? This part of it is now completely ready to go. And if Clown logs in, he will be trapped in there. He will be trapped, but to make it completely impossible to escape, because it's currently, there's a chance of escaping, a small chance, but still a chance. Yeah, to make it completely impossible, I need to go out. Well, I actually need to go out and get more armor stands at some point, but I need to go out and get a calibrated skulk sensor. That's not going to be too difficult on the calibrated side of it, because as I said, I've got another amethyst geode right here ready and waiting. So let's get some of these. Okay, we actually have to get fully grown ones, SP. 28 is definitely enough. That's it's way more than it needs to be. The difficult part is going to be the skulk sensor. I guess I will have found ancient cities in the past. But I can't remember where any of them are, okay? It's been so long since I've been on here that I can't remember. So we're going to have to find a brand new ancient city, or at least a brand new deep dark, to get a skulk sensor. And that means tracking down a biome with a mountain or two. This looks like the kind of biome we'd find a deep dark to me. And so the next question is, can I go down a cave that'll take me all the way down there? Oh, that looks like a big one. Yes, okay, this is a very promising so far. If I can avoid digging down to deep dark, I would, but you know what? I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go for it. Okay, giant aquifer. That looks like it goes a bit deeper. We just need to get to deep slate level, and then we'll know if there's a deep dark. But because we're in a mountain, it's so high up. You have to go down so far, don't you? Okay, here we... All right, perfect. We've done it. Is there anything else down here? Doesn't appear to be the case, apart from a creeper. Excuse me, sir. Leave me alone. Let's get some skulk sensors. I reckon I should probably get more than one, because only having one is probably not super helpful. And hey, you never know, with a bit of exploration, ancient city could be found. Great place to get notch apples. I currently have 6 of them in total, but more is very, very welcome. Don't want to spawn a warden though, so let's just avoid those. Can do with the hoe right about now. Would come in very, very handy, wouldn't it? I'm glad I have swift sneak as well. That makes life easier. Bat, what are you doing? You're going to spawn a warden if you keep flying around. I don't think it's likely. I don't think we're in ancient city territory. I'd have to do quite a bit more searching. So let's try and get back up there. And you know what? I don't care if I set off a shrieker. Like, what have I got to be afraid? Apparently that didn't even set it off. Hello? Okay. Are we just... Oh, well, there we go. Now we set it off. I don't know what was going on there. The Shrieker just decided it didn't want to work. Which, hey, if the Shriekers want to do that, that's fine by me. I used to swim up pretty high there. From here, I don't really know where else to go. Okay, yeah, we are... I think, is this where we dug down? It might be where we dug down from. Tell you what, when you don't have Elytra, at least having Ender Pearls makes life so much easier, doesn't it? This seems like we're out. Yep, snow, perfect. And the route back to the trap is in this direction. The only other thing I do also need is a lectern, which means getting leather. I will also need paper for that. I see some sugarcane here. Let's go and grab it. Cows are going to be on the menu too. I do also need a comparator. That's literally the final thing I need. But I have everything required to craft a comparator, so I'm not even thinking about... What on earth? Is that an X-ray glitch? Oh, I need a book and quill. And I need squid. Right on cue. I did not mean to X-ray for them, but hey, it's a happy accident. In fact, let's use... Okay, I don't have my sword, actually. I was going to use looting, but I guess that's out the window. I've got to keep my eye out for cows and chickens. Or a horse. That will suffice for the job. Here we go. Yeah, this is going to be good. Hey, it'll get me a bit of food as well, which I am eating suspicious stew, which is absolutely fine, but it's nice to have a bit of diversity, isn't it? I have something that's actually stackable for a change. Not what I was looking for, but an abandoned village. That's kind of cool. I could get the cobwebs, but now that we have infested pots, I don't have to worry about that. Operation Find a Chicken has been successful. I just need a feather, though. Come on. There we go. We got the feathers. Now we really do have everything we need, and I have just got to get back to the trap. Another random portal. Man, I keep running into these. Unless that's the one I built earlier. I don't think it is, but it actually... How did I manage that? Yeah, I don't think it is, but it's entirely possible it could be. It's very easy in this world to get lost and forget where you've been. Here we are, home sweet home. Well, it's not really home sweet home. Trap, sweet trap. Oh, yeah, okay. Just what the doctor ordered, a creeper to ruin the day. Okay, I don't think he was near the machine. I think we're okay, but that is not ideal if we're going to have stupid creepers blowing up. In fact, you know what? I think it'd be wise to craft some torches and actually light this place up, because I can't keep having mobs spawning and ruining my day. You know what? Why are they even allowed to come through it? Actually, it takes too many blocks to block it up. We'll just go with that. That should be fine. Because the last thing I need is for something to go wrong and a creeper to blow up and let Clown escape or something stupid like that. So, calibrated skulk sensor check. And that is a lectern sorted as well. The book and quill is going to have nothing in it except for page 15. We're just going to put a random letter in, so that lets me choose any page to calibrate the skulk sensor. Next, I'm going to go into here and grab the quartz. Already got some redstone, which is perfect, so let's make the observer. The final thing is a comparator, which also requires a bit of quartz. I'll need a bit of concrete or something. I think the only thing I need really then to go with that to make the comparator is a little bit of stone. So I think 3 stone is correct. I'm trying to work all this out in my head, to be honest with you. 3 torches. There we go. So these are the final needed components for everything. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot to light everything up there. Well, at least I'm realizing this now. I wondered where all these mob noises were coming from. It was up here. I thought it was just in the wall somewhere. Let's get a torch there. And then a few torches around it too. Yeah, you see, this is exactly what I was worried about. You just coming around the corner and ruining my day. I'm pretty sure we're now completely safe. That block is going to be an observer, which I'll remove later. This is the calibrated skulk sensor. And this lectern will calibrate it. So we're going to set it to level 7. So it only goes off if a player or a mob takes damage. That includes armor stand. So if you notice, if I go like this, it activates. Nothing else will activate it. Just going to remove a couple of components so that nothing goes off whilst I'm building this. So as I said, this right here is going to be an observer. But I do realistically think I've got time to turn all of these into armor stands, because the more in the system, the higher chance this will have of working well. I feel like I destroyed an entire forest over there, got loads more wood. And I am just keeping my eye out for a bit of coal as well, as I appear to have used it all as fuel already. So we found some pretty easily. Let's mine it up. With Fortune 3, we get even more, which is very, very nice. And there's even more over here. Alright, at this point, I think I've got all of the armor stands that I need. As you can see, every shulker box is very, very full. Let's go and top that one up as well. So when the shulker boxes are full, that basically means that the hoppers below it are full as well. So this system is just teeming with armor stands. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to add a few more, so let's just try and make them as even as possible. And yeah, I'm happy with that. All that means that there is left for me to do is arm the trap. So Clownpeers, this is all hopefully going to go well. Clownpeers will spawn there where there's 140 armor stands. He will activate the pressure plate, which will then send a signal through a redstone repeater, which will be there, which will send more armor stands in, and these pistons will extend, trapping him in permanently. Every time he breaks an armor stand, this skulk sensor will activate and will send more in. So you see, that activates. In fact, let's show you this in action. If I go ahead and punch an armor stand, see, it activates it. You can see the little particles go off. So that is the thinking behind that. The iron pressure plate will also send a signal out to send more in. Basically, if this piston extends, it will be adding more armor stands into the system. As long as there's an infinite amount of armor stands, he will never, ever escape. Well, in theory. Hopefully that all works. So, at this point, I need to get the 3 missing items. This repeater, set to this many ticks. The observer, facing into the skulk sensor. If I now take damage, this machine will activate and I'll have to reset the whole thing, which will be very, very annoying. And the final piece of the puzzle, connecting this redstone wire to the piston. There we go. The trap is now armed. When Clownpeers logs on, he's either permanently stuck or I'll be dead. There's only 2 ways about it. I want to be here when he logs on, so I am going to wait hidden here for him to log on. He's not going to log on now. It'll be the next session. And this time, he'd better set his alarm. He's literally just put a message in Discord saying he forgot to set his alarm. Okay, yeah. Next session, I'm sure he won't forget.